The University of Iowa is the home to about 22,354 undergraduate students, and it is known to be a relatively safe campus. On campus, you can locate code blue emergency phones pretty much anywhere you go. There are 24 of them in case of an emergency, and within 1 to 4 minutes, a University of Iowa police should be on the scene. On average, there are 7 aggravated assaults and 4 sex offenses each year here at the University of Iowa. The community of Iowa City does a pretty well job to help students feel comfortable and welcome to a community. For example, there are many different parades where students work with the community to show Hawkeye spirit and Iowa City spirit. For example, Iowa City High School's band marches for the homecoming parade with the Hawkeyes. Although as you come to college, you do not expect to ever be assaulted or traumatized by an event, you're here to pursue a goal you have set in mind, but also have fun and make memories. There's always someone willing to talk and help you, though, if something does happen. As we're coming to an end of semester 1, we have all been notified of 9 sexual assaults in only 16 weeks. We may all feel very different in this topic, but the university has came up with a survey, Speak Out Iowa, to understand what we believe and possibly try and decrease the average number. As a student, you receive Hawk alerts, which are phone calls or text messages or both, to notify you of what has happened so you can be safe. You can also receive emails. On October 14th, 2007, a girl reported she was sexually assaulted in a Hillcrest room by 2 football players. 36 hours later, she reported it to the Iowa Athletic Department, including Athletic Director Gary Barda, current head football coach Kirk Ferenz, and Associate Athletic Director Fred Mims. Being in shock, she was convinced not to report this to the head authorities, but instead to allow them to do an on-campus investigation. After 3 weeks of the assault, one of the alleged perpetrators moved in 3 doors down from the victim. Being bothered by several people, she reported the incident to her mother. The mother's letters were described to be heart-wrenching since someone was taking action into matter. On a Monday afternoon in November, only 3 weeks after the assault, the mother involved the cops. After that, things started puzzling together. A week after the cops were involved, Abe Satterfield and Cedric Everson were suspended, but Coach Ferenz gave no new information to the public. 5 student polls were open to students. The first one is, what safety concerns do you have? 60% of people were worried about walking alone, 15% of people were worried about sexual assaults and date rapes, and 2% of people were worried about dorm safety. Most students believe our campus provides a supportive environment for victims of sexual assault. 54% people feel generally safe and comfortable walking alone across campus. Where was the victim's help from the university? Many times the mother and father contacted faculty, including past president Sally Mason. Why would they not try and fix a problem that occurred to a student of their own? The mother shared her concerns with Sally Mason and never received anything back from her. Sally Mason said she reported to see the letter until around Thanksgiving, almost a whole month after the incident. The father made a call out to Sally and never received a call back. April of 2008, Satterfield was charged with 2nd and 3rd degree sexual abuse, and Everson was charged with 2nd degree sexual abuse. Documents were not allowed to be released to the public due to FERPA, Federal Education Rights Privacy Act, which states if the victim gives no written consent, it is not permitted to be released. In August of 2009, a lower court granted access to reports of alleged sexual assaults. As time went by, it was said Satterfield had intentions to seriously harm and injure the victim. As the case became more well-known, more privacy was wanted from the family. For example, her name, her email address, her room number, and other personal information. Although if the press citizen or other people knew the victim, FERPA was not capable of protecting them. There was a lot of talk regarding the safety of students in general at the University of Iowa. Although the Press Citizen Council wanted more information, they could not be reached out for comments after Tom Moore, University of Iowa spokesman, reassured people that they would appropriately protect everyone's privacy. The Supreme Court had finally agreed with an outcome for the rights of people. As the case went on from being informal to formal to apologies being said due to the confusions of what cases were being solved. Sally apologized to the family when the case was later reopened. Tom Evans, who was the general counsel of the Regents and investigator, he reached out to the family, and the family declined to have any contact with him. It has not been easy to fully understand the whole story as to what ended up happening, but we do know Kirk Ferenc and Sally Mason were challenged by the public due to their integrity. In order to fight for your protection and rights, never be afraid to report a sexual assault to the authorities. In many cases, it will be the best solution to a conflict.